So they've had the same amount of time, in fact more than teams that have been to Toronto to try and come up with something here based on their sort of forewarning of what a patch would sort of look like.
This EMP back online again.
One needs to connect. There it is, and he links up with Crowie. That's exactly what you're looking for. Somehow Shax is still able to punish Luke Mino, and the dive for the London Spitfire is almost as effective. They get two, but it should be the Paris Eternal walking away with this one and making this a pretty darn close round now.
Late in favor of the Paris Eternal.
Shax needs to connect this one. He's worried about getting hacked though and getting caught out in the open. He gets the stick despite the defense matrix being in play. Steal, nurse from the men, and able to get a lot of damage on Crow, but it's going to be healed up pretty quickly. Rack Attack forced to play for the Vestiges. It's going to be a biotic grenade dropped on him. That's right, Khan finds the perfect target, kind of shuts the rally down, and Landon's able to wave the flag. It's not a white one though, as the London Spitfire are digging their claws in. Close round, good fight in a solid contest. The London Spitfire will take it. Gonna wait around the bubble here. Back up slightly. Primal has to be used here. Focusing beam. I know what I've had in mind, but Hardy was ready to answer that. Oh, Malthus! He's not able to blink out. He just gets caught by a mean left hook from Hardy. I think that's far from done. Crowie realizing without frontliners, there is no point. And the Paris Eternal turn tail. It'll be Rack Attack has the shield bash forward here onto the point, which is never ideal. They've lost the Lucio, and it will be a biotic grenade on Crowie and Rack Attack respectively. Make it nigh impossible for them to contest. Wub can come through from the right-hand side, maybe hope for an instant kill, but really, this ship has well and truly sailed for the Paris Eternal. It's a matter of cleanup. I've got to say, Matt, this is a team, look, they look pretty comfortable on these kind of heroes. Not a terrible meta for them, but the Spitfire are, as always, a step ahead.
That's easy to do.
Yeah, sure. Mouthful there. Putting on the pressure from the back line, and eventually the Paris Eternal, I mean, they're sowing utter disarray here. Backbone, rather, is able to drag Wub down. The question is, where's Hardy operating at the moment? They're not able to do too much from where he is, so checkpoint taken by Paris here. His very in-your-face, brawl-style setup works pretty well. Okay, through the castle, primarily. Decent amount of damage on Backbone there. Looks like he's struggling somewhat. Shaq's trying to do it with the Diva. It's going to be Hardy that gets the nano boost here. There's an Ant Matrix, goes up on the side. Crowie desuited though. Self-destruct here, you'd think. Shaq's able to LOS that for the most part, but takes a fairly big lick of damage. Might have been a whip shot that sent him backwards there. Hardy is controlling.
Get back and help Shax. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, Hardy, I think, was controlling Luke Mino's position, just trying to keep him away from the fight, I think. He eventually has to come and contest, but Malthus Pulse Bomb missing there is pretty much, yeah, the death knell for the Eternal on the attacking side. Not bad, Matt, but they really ran out of steam after that Orisa comp sort of.
If he's going to play on the low ground, by the payload.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt the morning! Oh, it was all of a sudden, Matthew, this one gets turned on its head. Yeah, Transcendence for Rack Attack. Yeah, that's brutal stuff. Shax is like the guy in the ad with like the tape that's supposed to fix a leak in the tank. Slaps that thing on and just sends the Zen packing. Hardy gets it skewered there by that javelin. And Crowie now wants to surge forward, but knows he needs to wait a little bit. There's a lot of damage on the table right now for the Spitfire, but here it is, Malthus down. The Baptiste is missing for the Eternal. Safely, Luke Mino trying to get damage here, but the Transcendence is popped by Khan again. Shaq's trying to contest the card here as Crowie might have to turn around in just a moment. The Discord all making his life hard.
Here comes
Khan gets rid of the Zen. Oh, Khan! He's got another one! Rack Attack falls, and now Crowie trying to deal with everybody surrounding him, but still, in a 2v3, he's being ignored. The pressure now is going to be on. You see Luke Mino so low in the background. Crowie eventually is down to the London Spitfire. They're going to break through somehow in a 2v5. They buy enough time. Here comes the pile driver. Wub going to get burnt to the ground, and the Paris Eternal absolutely fuming. This one got away.
Oh, that is a gut punch there. As Paris played so good on defense.
He slept. So Hardy would be able to get him without being redirected, but he opts not to do that now. To disengage, and I don't know if Luke Mino realized that the Spitfire was sort of backing up on this. So Crowie's nano, really just some decoration to light up the streets as they advance. And they are advancing, let me be clear on that. 2 minutes here. Great little nano, rather biotic grenade. And Dove's able to find that kill on Shax with a Helix rocket.
Yeah, no, can they actually take the second checkpoint? Maybe Backbone is able to live and you come out of the spawn here with an EMP, or they decide to give it up. Yeah, that was with the yeah, it's a big EMP here. You imagine some kills following this up.
Oh,
Primal.
No.
This is not the spot you want to be in when that Primal comes. he was very strong early on because of the DPS passive that gave the speed with the sprint, right?
My guy's counting
Sick
backwards.
prediction, yeah. On a hottie, you're getting very close to an EMP.
Oh
some
my,
good
he's so
ultimates here.
sick.
Oh, and then the recall to dodge.
Oh, he's so nice. Unreal. And yeah, not much Luke Mino can do there. Hardy was coming for him. The Sojourn switch for Dove. Nano boost as well for the extra durability, but it's not going to stop you when Hardy comes to play. That's the end of the line for the Paris Eternal. Gives Dove an opening now to flank. Pressure. Yep, Khan just gets flattened, and a beautiful two-piece there from Dove. And it really,
easy kills there.
It doesn't have to be complicated, right? He just wraps.
Where is
Another one
playing from? I mean, he was able to get one from that position.
But Landon says one Dove's way as well. He's very low. Orb of Harmony trying to keep him alive. Rack Attack does very well there to stay alive.
Oh,
but Landon just wraps the corner. Finds the kill. Backbone is down. Krabi's still a factor here. It's a 1v3, and Diva's hard to deal with like this. Instant recall there from Malthus. I think he attempted a pulse bomb. There's a Transcendence here for Khan. Krabi drops out of the mech straight into the path of an orb. And here come the London Spitfire now. They like to keep it interesting, Matt. 14 seconds left in the round. Malthus takes a faceful. He's going to try and hide behind the car for the time being as Shax has a pulse bomb. Time to deliver it.
He's got a Harmony Orb on him, though, and then Hadi will drop the minefield here on the point. So, gets a D-Mech. That's huge.
Dove's got great positioning on the high ground there. Lennon has the biotic grenade himself, but things aren't going well for the Eternal elsewhere. Can't look like it's going to get across the line, and with Malthus falling, there'll be another checkpoint here for London. There's not a lot really the Spitfire have in position. Shax will get there, picks up a mini health pack to save in the recall at this time. A big pulse bomb for Shax could be a fight turner. Tough to get in these situations with Krawi on patrol. Shax is hoping just to drain that resource and go for it, but Dove is there with attack visor, and he should be able to put this one to bed. Minefield on the card, and that'll be cleaned here by Rack Attack and that Transcendence. Lovely stuff from the Paris Eternal. Great defense, and we're going to 4 maps.
You scared me a little bit when you were like, oh man, we've seen Paris in these situations.
Until they find a kick, until they start to decimate the backline, they don't really feel comfortable advancing. Maybe they're respecting the Zen a lot. The EMP should be the starter's pistol for this. Yeah, Defense Matrix was there for Shax, that pulse bomb, no connection. And Rack Attack again, defensively, so good at dealing with these dives, right? That's another kill for him, makes it a 4v4. And Krawi doesn't seem to be bothered. He can step up and contest the bot, make sure no one sneaks in a checkpoint gain under his nose. But he's worried about Hardy and what Hardy can do to Luke Mino. Hardy, meanwhile, he's already back on the bot, mate.
Yeah, he was in a really rough spot there, Crawley, as you see like fire coming from both directions. The desk, you know, somebody interviewed them after to kind of talk about this wrecking ball look as, man, it's a nice minefield.
There it is. Okay, so they get what they want. So it's always the backline first. They just want to make sure healing's out of the picture, and then they can get aggressive. Then they can deal with Krawi. Frustrating to play this way, because Krawi would love to peel back, man. But in doing so, he gives up the bot. He can't be a presence there. Very, very difficult for him to sort of do both things at once. And in a one-tank game now is Overwatch. You know, and the Baptiste has that air matrix up now. Maybe to combine with Dove. There could be some pretty nasty stuff coming from the hit scans here. Immortality Field is annoying for Backbone. He has to get rid of that. Krawi is able to survive. Okay, hero switches for a Paris now. We're starting to see why they happened.
And this is actually doable now. For the Paris Eternal. London, do you just end up using the Transcendence, just going out there fighting, looking for a pick?
Yeah, Rack Attack's down. He used Transcendence. He had to use Trans in the previous fight. He was being pressured in a similar manner. This time, he didn't have any contingencies left. Shax quickly running back for some healing. This is 4 players for the Eternal left. The Spitfire are taking their time. Dove gets strips torn off him as he's hoisted into the air by that pile driver, and that's it. Slow and steady wins the race for the London Spitfire. No undue risks taken. That previous fight, they lose a player, C2 support ults used, and they back out of it. Now they come back in with the advantage and close the series out.
Yeah, so London, look, this is a tough series. This is not the Paris Eternal we've seen, you know, recently.